I just realized something so profound, and honestly, if I would have spoke to myself about this a few hours ago, I wouldn't have liked the way I put it, I wouldn't have understood it, and I definitely wouldn't have appreciated it at all. Actually, I would have felt attacked. But it's such a beautiful thing to live an uncomfortable life. It is such a beautiful thing. It is such a privilege to live a life of hardship. Stick with me while I say this. And you're listening to someone who's experienced hardships, extreme hardships. So just stick with me. I'm not downplaying your hardships or anything like that. It may feel like an attack to you that I'm saying this, but stick with me and you'll understand. You'll understand deeply where I'm coming from. And this reframing of perspective will actually help you understand life and actually see that you are privileged to live a life of extreme hardship and uncomfortability. So like I said, it's a privilege, not because suffering is good, but because in suffering, you know you're suffering. You know that it's not what you want. You know you want something else. It's taught you clarity, something most people in this world do not have. Most people in this world don't have clarity because they don't have contrast. Most people live a life that's just good enough, that's comfortable enough so that they don't feel enough to question or wonder that much about life. They're comfortable. They're not wondering, oh, I need to do this better, because they're comfortable. But the privilege of uncomfortability, the privilege of hardship is you know exactly what you don't want. And it usually causes us to dream really big and to think of the best that could happen, because you know you never want to experience anything like you're experiencing again. Life of hardship gives you direction. It gives you clarity. Direction and clarity are literally a privilege that most people, again, can't tap into because they don't have the access to hardship or the access to uncomfortability, and they don't have the intensity to take risk. But I'm not saying that you're taking a risk. I'm just saying you have the intensity because you're already living what is kind of a risky life. So that lack, the hardship, uncomfortability is literally potential. It gives you potential to want more. It gives you potential to see past limits, potential to dream bigger, potential to have the imagination that some people can't even tap into, again, because they don't have that extreme capacity that you have to hold the uncomfortability that you're holding, to hold the weight of wanting something completely opposite than what you have. You can want a great, big, amazing family from not feeling supported, from not feeling connected to family, from not feeling like you're good enough, from feeling like you're the odd one out, to feeling like a scapegoat. Feeling like your parents didn't understand you can make you want to be an understanding parent. But if you didn't have those parents that didn't understand you, you want to have that big drive to be an understanding parent. If you get what I'm saying. You can learn to be an understanding parent from understanding parents, but contrast helps you push towards the opposite. Learning what you want a community from having a lack of community. Learning stability from instability. I grew up saying you grew up and you didn't have access to the food or things you want. So when you get older, you know, oh, I'm going to make sure that I have this for myself. I'm going to make sure to go above and beyond in all these aspects because I did not have that. And it's not something that I want. It was uncomfortable and it just was not suitable for my life. I know I want better. And that clarity is what helps you have that aim to something better. But without those experiences, you want to have the clarity. You learn routine through chaos. You know you don't want to ever experience this chaos again, so you build the routines so that you don't experience the chaos. But it's not trying to run from the chaos because you've experienced chaos, so you integrated the chaos part. Now you have a bridge to the next thing, right? You learn love through absence. You crave love. You want love. You imagine what it feels like to be loved. You've learned love. You've learned love to the depths because you've learned what, the absence of love is, right? You learn environments that fit you by being in environments that don't. You feel friction. You know, you feel like they don't understand you. They don't get you. You want to be around people who understand you. You want to be around people who get you. Again, you're learning what you want from what you don't want. Uncomfortability, hardships bring clarity, and clarity is one of the most beautiful things to have. When you have clarity, you have direction, and when you have preciseness, you actually get to move. But most people see things and they get stuck in these mindsets. They get stuck in the environments, these events, these things going on. Trust me, I understand how. I understand how you can get stuck in it because it's very intense. It's intense. But it's there to show you what you want, right? It's there to show you what you want. You do not have to subscribe to it. That's the beautiful thing. It's there showing you that, okay, you actually are meant for more for you to know what more you're meant for, I want you to see that you don't actually appreciate this and fully accept that you don't appreciate it. You don't have to lie about it. You don't have to lie to yourself. You don't have to fake the funk. You don't have to fake shit. You don't have to fake like you like your community. You don't have to fake like you like your environment. You don't have to fake like you like your routines. You don't have to fake like you like instability. You don't have to fake like you like chaos. You don't have to fake like you like your community. You don't have to fake like you like the absence of love. You don't have to fake like you're strong. You don't have to fake like you don't need love. You don't have to fake like you don't need family. Like you don't need the money. You don't have to fake anything. All you have to do is realize what privilege you have and what clarity can come from you living where you currently living, in the state that you're living in. You don't have to accept it as final. Accept it as what it is for what it is right now. Okay, if you're experiencing hardship, accept that, but also accept that this is not final, that you can move. Accept that this is here to teach you something new. You just have to choose differently, and you have a privilege. You have such a privilege. You have a privilege to realize that you are destined for more. You have the privilege to dream. You have the privilege to dream as big as you want, and you have the privilege to follow these dreams. When you realize that where you're at is actually helping you dream bigger, it's helping you lead to the things that are bigger, it's helping you, like, it's no motivational fluff. I'm not trying to fluff you to fuck up. I'm just being honest. Like, you don't like your job. You don't like your roommates. Okay, you don't want your job. Maybe you want to move to entrepreneurship. Maybe you want to do something bigger. Maybe you want another job. It's giving you direction. It's giving you a path to move forward onto, even if you don't know the path. You know where you're not going. You know where you don't want to be. That's enough direction. Some people don't even know that. Right? And as long as you know where you're not going to be and where you don't want to be, you just decide. You decide that I'm not accepting this no more. This is not for me. Just because you can survive somewhere doesn't mean it's aligned to you. Just because, again, you can survive somewhere does not mean it's aligned to you. Don't fake it. Just because you can survive in instability and in the lack of love and the lack of community and the lack of family and the lack of finances, just because you can survive there does not mean that it's meant for you. It does not mean it's aligned for you. It just means that you have the intensity to use this to push forward. Like, it just means you have capacity, right? You have the capacity to get what you want. You have the capacity to learn what you want through contrast. It don't mean that it's for you. It actually means you actually might have more capacity than somebody who lives comfortable to shoot for the stars. Your survival just directly reflects how much you can actually receive. You're not crumbling. You're actually just realizing that the clarity you need to move forward. We're here to adapt. If you aren't able to adapt, you will not find a clarity to actually want to have bigger things and move on to bigger things. So that's where the privilege comes from again. And hopefully by this time, your mindset is kind of starting to get what I'm putting down. Like, you have the privilege to experience these things and actually be adapting to them so you can learn what you need to learn from it and move forward. Friction is not punishment. Uncomfortability is not punishment. It's information. It's data. You don't like it. Accept that. Don't try to screw the data up. If you know you don't like it, don't try to say, I'm accepting this is meant for me. No, don't try to screw the data up. Accept that you don't like it, but with that acceptance, figure out what you do like and accept that. We're not here to be distressed. We're not here to be disliking the world and to crumble forever. Certain experiences breed certain outcomes. So sometimes you need the extreme opposite of what you want so you can understand what you want. And most of us don't know what we want. And that's the hardest thing in life. When you're comfortable, you can't understand what you want. But when you're uncomfortable, you're like, oh, hell no. I can't do this. I need something better. I need something greater. Right? You realize that you have the privilege. You have the clarity in these situations to choose greater. I want you to remember, friction isn't punishment. Friction allows clarity. Think about it. Friction, uncomfortability, refinement, fire. You take some sand, you burn it up through the fire, you get glass. Sand to glass is clear. You get clarity. And clarity is not built through comfortability. Like I said, you got to burn that sand up. It's not all the time. I will say not all the time. There are times clarity can be built, but for clarity to be built, it takes some recognition. And sometimes people don't recognize things until you're going through it. Like, you don't recognize it until your brain actually has to get into that mode, into that fight or flight. Like, okay, I can't do this. I gotta get out of it. People aren't going that extra mile to think when they're comfortable. When we're comfortable, we're not really looking outside. But when you're uncomfortable, you're trying to figure shit out. So the uncomfortableness opens your brain and helps you begin to look, search, think, dream, imagine, build plans, have ideas. So it's not that everything is perfect, but it's more of, okay, I accept that I don't like this. I accept that these situations are not for me and that they are actually crushing me. But the friction should be confirmation that you have potential. But you need to understand that it's not that everything is perfect. It's not that these are ideal situations. You don't have to accept them as ideal situations. It's not like that. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You don't got to do none of that. You can actually hate it and still build towards a better life. People try to force loving situations. Love is what people think acceptance is. Just accept it. Accept and move forward. Accept and choose something different. Don't fake it. Be authentic. But what you do have to understand is that the experience is teaching you something. It's teaching you something new, and it's opening a new possibility, a new avenue, a new way of thinking for you to move forward. It's like, let's move away from resenting every experience. Don't shut your emotions down. Don't fake it. Understand that you don't like the shit, and you will never like the shit. So, knowing that you don't like the shit, you should know that you're supposed to like some new shit. So that's what you need to do. You need to understand. You need to take it as information, as data. You need to take it as, when the friction shows up, that just means that it ain't for me. It ain't for you. But think about it. The friction be pulling you so far back. Like, friction, when you go deeper into a hole or things get harder, you get more friction. Think about it. Think of a rubber band. When you pull in a rubber band, the harder it's stretching, the more friction it is. You're feeling friction. But the further you pull a rubber band, the further that shit gonna shoot. The further it's gonna go. So the further situations pull you back and the more intense and the more hardship you're facing, the greater the opportunities are for you. You picking up when I put it down? Life is refinement. It's refining you into gold. Like, it's all about refinement. Trusting that your awareness itself is a value. You have clarity. Clarity is a value. You being aware of the situation and how it's using you, that's value. Understanding the situation is a catalyst for you to move forward, that's value. It's a catalyst for you to move forward. Clarity is a blessing. It's a blessing to have clarity. It is a blessing to understand what you don't want. Because when you understand what you don't want, you know what you do want. If I go around and ask a couple people, what do you like? People be confused. But if I ask people what they don't like, they know what they don't like. And if I in turn go asking people, okay, so what do you like? Most people who know what they don't like, they know what they do like. Because they know what they don't like, It's all about intensity. Just as much as somebody can be kind, best believe that person got that fire in them. It's just what the world is like. Intensity exists on both sides. So don't think forever that you just experience intensity and hardship on this side. No, if you can experience intensity and stay whole and actually resilient, accept and actually change perspective, you can experience the life on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side. Best believe. Like I said again, being comfortable is not good all the time because you lack knowing. You're not feeling intensity to push you forward. I've learned what I learned through contrast. I learned what I wanted through contrast. This is me speaking personally. I've been through immense contrast. Oh shit, almost my whole life been through contrast. But through that contrast, I was able to build an exact life of what I didn't want. I'd be looking at experiences like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like none of that. But in turn, from not liking any of it, I learned what I do like. And with that data, I'm building the life that I do like. That's all I really have to say today. I just want people to remember and realize the privilege of an uncomfortable life, the privilege of a life of hardship, the privilege of it. You just need the realization. You just need to realize, this is letting me know what I don't want. Your body is actually working with you. It's telling you, I don't want this. And some people don't understand that. It don't mean you deserve it. It doesn't mean anything. Don't try to act like you deserve it. Don't try to settle with it. Don't just take the data as data. You don't like it, figure out what you do like and move forward. And if all you can think about is what you do like, that's enough. If all you can do is think about what you do like, that's enough. Think about it as much as you can. And if all you can do after that is write it down, take the step of least resistance. Write that shit down. If all you can do is go for a walk and look at the things you like, it's free to go in car lots. You don't got to buy nothing to show up. People just try to make that seem, no, you can go walk. You can go walk past your dream home, your dream apartment. You can look up your dream job. You can watch people do things that you dream of. It's all available to you to expose yourself to what you want. Expose yourself to it. Expose yourself to the thoughts. Write it down. Think about how it feels. Just expose yourself to it. You've already exposed yourself to the life that you don't want, and you know what you don't like. So why not expose yourself to what you do like? That's what life is about. Again, it's a privilege to live an uncomfortable life. It brings clarity, and clarity brings results. Thank you. Bye, guys.